Great. Yeah, sure. About this part here, so I'll tell you here. As I'm going to the part of the fallen angels. Here it will go. It will come under the other video. So for that part, here during that time when Jesus Christ was still traveling. No, not when Jesus Christ was still traveling. During that time when Cain seed was still traveling, it was this thing that there's this misunderstanding that the scientists have misplaced about the homophobians and the amphibians, those animals, and the giraffes, those human lookalikes. Here is what happened there on those things. Here is how they were created. Because this is their part here. That is why I put it here. And so during that time, we had clones. Right, we had clones, and since we had clones, all the clones, like humans clones, like, okay, those things that the scientists fucked up, mixed up, is this things here. Here's how you can see them. Those kinds, to the kinds that looks like humans did not originate from those things. Those things, they were created separately. It is the same as a horse. It is the same as a horse to a short horse and a donkey to a zebra. A zebra is an animal of the forest. A horse is an animal of the community along with a short horse, along with a donkey. They are animals of the community. That is why they are still around. And so a short giraffe is actually a short horse. In other words, here is what happened, the advantages and the disadvantages of these things. Because these things, they have their own kind. Same as humans, giraffes and the homophobias, they are the same story. It is only because the other one is adaptability and the other one's adaptability is different, slightly different. But I'll tell you what happened there. And so, that short giraffe, it not becoming a tall giraffe, since I said they were two, they were created both, not one. Those giraffes, it is a long giraffe with a short giraffe, same as a horse and a short horse, to a camel. A camel is the same as a zebra, not having a donkey. Because a camel stays in the desert there. A short zebra, a short giraffe had its own locations, same as a giraffe with a long head, with a long neck. And so those things, they have their advantages and disadvantages. A giraffe with a short neck, it is the same as a sheep and not as a goat. So it is staying in the forest, unlike a short horse. And a horse has a seahorse. They have many horses. Same as a cow, you find a buffalo, you find a cat from the forest, like lions, tigers. You can name them. Even a crocodile. There is a crocodile that is like a fish. When you hit it, it comes out sparkles. There are many. There's a snake that is like a cobra. It is called a queen of snakes. That snake, it acts as if it is taking out its poison. It piles up itself, like it blows up its mouth, and then like it is a toy, man. Like it will scare you when you look at it, but it even fakes death, because it does not have poison. Even when it bites, it does nothing. It just bites if it bites, because a snake depends on a venom. And so, those are the kinds that are still around. And that part there of a giraffe with a short neck, it is only because it was in the forest. Those ones, they were in the community. It is those kinds of things that actually happened there. That is why it actually got mixed up there. And the humans of the forest. The humans of the forest, here is what happened there. The humans of the forest. So basically, about the giraffes there, you can't say a camel is the reason why it does not have a long neck is because of what? Because a camel, it had to have a longer neck than a giraffe itself, because it is staying in the desert, and you can't tell me the trees are not high or however, because it even has a trunk so that it can even make it longer. So it is those kinds of things of the kinds that we created in their own locations to show God's capabilities. So that way you are actually limiting his potential. But it is those things that he already knew. That is why he created all of those things. You are not the ones to first say that it is nice to have a giraffe with a long neck, though nature did it. But God is the one who said, let there be a giraffe with a long neck and a short neck and a camel. And a giraffe of a long neck and a short neck don't have to have trunks and don't have to literally have horns, but their own unique horns. Plus, it is not fast. And a long giraffe, it can look from afar. Those kinds of stuff. Those things. Which are the things that also the flood of Noah did destroy. I'll still take you to that part of Noah. And so when it happened on that part there, it was that part the homophobias, the humans lookalikes, for them not to survive, it was because of them they were limited in their knowledge. That is why even when you check in your videos, there are times where you can't really know where the fire started. It's because the fire started on Adam and Eve, during the times of Adam and Eve, as Cain left. And so the reason why you thought we looked black, like monkeys there, it is because of you as wise. You started here as being black and you noticed that you were black before. It's just that you did not know why you were white. How did you become white? Because you noticed through your science there that indeed we used to have a different color because of the snow and the ice and the climate has changed us, but we do not really know how we were actually. That is why you would say that it's the same as those wild animals, because those wild animals come from those lookalikes, those clones that we had, because you knew there was somewhere you came from. That is why you had actually a strong instinct into arguing about it, because you knew something happened there. It's just that you did not know where you missed it. So that is the part there. Because of those things there, it did not come from them, but you are the seed of Adam and Eve. From Cain there, as Cain left, you were black like polish. That is what happened there. That is why you even thought of yourselves and us as those humans lookalikes, because we came somewhere. We did not just start here. That is why even us blacks, we have our own unique colors. And so those human lookalikes, those homophobians, they are not like a monkey, a baboon, and a baboon. You can name them. They cannot survive in the forest. Same as a monkey, it can toy with a leopard or a cheetah itself instead of a lion or something, and still make it out happily ever after. It has those kinds of advantages and the disadvantages, because humans during that time, they were also about, some of them they were mating with those clones. That is why the angels had to stop them, because they were going to disturb the image of God. That is why even the image of God, it did not have to experience these other stuffs of humans eating themselves, which is the part that still falls on the angels there. But so you can follow along nicely, it's those kinds of stuffs there that actually happened there, which were the reason why the angels had to take place or take action. And so there was this Leviathan. A Leviathan during the times of Moses, when Moses had to open the ocean there, opening it for the people there. When God told him that you should open the water so that people can pass there, that thing of Moses hitting the rock, it helped him kill a Leviathan. One Leviathan that died there, it was a Leviathan that was going to meet the other Leviathan on the other side. That is why when Moses hit the rock, he was supposed to hit it nicely, but when he hit the rock, even if he hit it nicely, it was something that, because it is God only who can kill a Leviathan. And so that Leviathan, if they met, they were going to be a huge issue, because they were going to be too many here and they were going to disturb the image of God. Because those were the clones, the lookalikes, the kinds that were not literally accepted here in this life. And so even when Moses did hit that rock very hard, The way God does not want anything with these images, God decided to kill Moses before he reached a land of milk and honey. Because he wants nothing with these images, rather keep yourself to yourself. And still Moses went to heaven. That is why Moses, they had to fight for his body there because of those things that happened there. Like what really happened there, God that you did not want Moses to enter the milk of honey. Is heaven not the milk of honey? It was those kinds of stuffs. Otherwise, it is the Holy Spirit. That thing of you being strong like Job, which is something that Moses had to do. You holding the battling, giving the other side and the other side, but don't be a fool. But that is the thing about it there. That is the reason why also Jesus Christ had to die cleanly, because he is the first soul. He had to seal that first soul. Yeah. Otherwise, the first soul would have not been successful, or successfully called the first soul. The same way as Jesus Christ, when he came here visiting his mother, he did not actually have to have the sperms of his father there, because he is God coming in the flesh. That is why he just had to be brought, because he had to obtain the flesh from the womb. And not say God was born of a sperm like the giants.